What's up, my people? It's your host, Al Ray, and I would like to welcome you back to another week of the Al Ray Show. Do y'all feel that weather outside? I know they said it's October, but it actually feels like October. Normally, it's still pretty hot, but the weather is nice and cool, not too hot, not too cold. The way I like it. Feels and smells like basketball season, so you know that's perfect. But in the meantime, stay tuned for what's in store. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to let you know right now, if you don't already know, COVID-19 is a very real thing. And I know you've been hearing that over and over for the past, 5, 6 months, but it's real. The sports world and just our real life world has been hit hard by COVID. This past week, we saw the president and his first lady. They both came down with COVID. I know some of you out there are conspiracy theorists, but we won't go there. But he said he has it, so he has it. And then in the NFL, you had 16 total people for the Tennessee Titans come down with COVID. 8 was the personnel department, and then the other 8 were players. And then you had Cam Newton, one of the stars in the league, came down with COVID. On a local level, here in Jacksonville, the schools went back full time to school this past week, where there's no more hybrid schedule where there's, half online, half in class. Every day, 5 days a week, they're back in the classroom. So some kids have came down with COVID, and some of those kids may play on the football team where some games were postponed, canceled, or continued to play on with their season. So it's a very real thing. Please take it seriously. Go out there, wear your mask, wash your hands if you're touching high touch areas such as handles and doorknobs, things like that. To make sure to social distance. I know here in Florida, the governor lifted all of those restrictions where the restaurants don't have to be at a certain capacity and people don't have to wear masks. But I know locally, most of the restaurants have said they will stick to the minimum capacity and then also wearing masks. So please just follow it as best as you can. So since the last time I talked to you, the NBA Finals hadn't started. But as most of you know, it has started at this point. The Los Angeles Lakers are up 2-1 against the Heat. They started out 2-0, and then the Heat beat the Lakers this past Sunday, which was last night. You had Jimmy Butler dropped a nice 40-point triple-double, which is his best game he's ever had in his career. And that's what the Miami Heat needed. Even though the Lakers, they made a few runs, came back and tied it, even took the lead at certain points. But it was just like they were just chasing the Heat the entire game. You had Anthony Davis. He got in foul trouble early. And he had a game very similar to this last series against the Nuggets where he had, I think it was 2 rebounds. Well, this game he had 15 points and 5 rebounds, which is not a Anthony Davis type game. And I was talking to some friends about it, and they say, oh, the NBA is fixed or professional sports is fixed. You can think that. I'm not going to think that. Myself, I'm a coach, so I know some games, the players mentally, they're just not there. They may be fatigued or who knows what's going on in their life, and they just don't bring it that one game, but that next game, they're going to bring it. So I feel like this was that one game for Anthony Davis. Then LeBron, he put up big numbers, but if you watch the game, it wasn't enough. We needed more from LeBron. The Lakers had almost 20 turnovers. They had 19 turnovers, which is uncharacteristic of that team. They shot a lot of threes. Luckily, we had the Morris twin off the bench where he hit 19 points. We had Kuzma with the same thing with 19 points. So they really stepped it up. We even had Rondo help out a lot coming off the bench, setting the tempo and the pace of the game. So they did their part. It was just on Anthony Davis where he came up short. And then you had LeBron, who we needed more from him. So I expect them in Game 4, which will be tomorrow, for them to bring it. There's no excuse for it. They gave everyone a game. They spotted every team a game. So I feel like this was the Heat's game, and LeBron and them will take care of it. But again, I like to touch on Jimmy Butler. Big game, 40-point triple-double. Those don't come often. When you think of 40-point triple-doubles, you think of James Harden, you think of, you know, LeBron, maybe sometimes you think of Westbrook, you think of Luka, you think of guys like that. And, you know, Jimmy Butler came to win, and he showed it, and he won that game. Hopefully the Heat do not continue this. I don't want them to continue. I want LeBron to get his 4th ring, but kudos to all my Heat fans out there. Kudos to the Heat team. Way to get it done last night. It was a very eventful day in the NFL. We'll start off with my Jaguars. They lost once again. They lost to the Cincinnati Bengals. I feel like this game was basically the fight for last place, even though it actually isn't. But I just feel like that we gave the number 1 overall pick, Joe Burrow, we gave him his first career victory. And, you know, I'm not disappointed. I know how people jump on and off of the Jaguar bandwagon when they're winning. Oh, yeah, go Jaguars when they're losing. Oh, the Jaguars suck. And, like, it's people that's from here. I get it if you're not from here. You're kind of like a transplant into Jacksonville. But if you're from Jacksonville, born and raised, you went to school here most of your life, and you're kind of on and off the bandwagon, you got a whole separate team, I don't understand it. I'm sticking with the Jaguars, win or lose. But what do you guys expect? They cut everybody. They traded everybody. Got rid of all of the elite talent that we have. So this is the product that's supposed to be out there. We got a little bit hopeful from week 1 when we beat the Colts. And then week 2, we were very competitive and lost to Tennessee. And then last week, week 3 against the Dolphins, kind of laid an egg. And then this week, kind of thought this was our best chance to win. And maybe a little bit more tougher the rest of the way. This was probably our last best chance to win, and we didn't get it done. But it's the NFL. You need players in order to win, and we don't necessarily have those players, especially on the defensive side of the ball. So hopefully we can just keep pushing, getting better throughout the year, and make the best of this season. So like I said, Joe Burrow, shout out to him, getting his first victory. He looks very, very good. He doesn't look like a rookie per se, but going against the Jaguars where there's no type of pressure on the O-line, he can just sit back there and pick us apart. And we watched it happen every single week where the quarterback has done that. So best of luck to my Jaguars, man. Y'all, please tell me y'all saw Jalen Ramsey, Golden Tate. Some of you might not know, Jalen Ramsey has 2 kids with Tate's sister, Golden Tate's sister. So allegedly, all this is allegedly, I don't know if it's true, but allegedly, Jalen Ramsey dumped his sister while she was pregnant with their second child and moved on to someone else. All of this was going on around the time when Jalen was trying to get out of Jacksonville. So a lot of people missed it because of that whole saga that was going on. So this has been building up for like a whole year now. So as you all saw, hopefully you've seen the highlights by now. I'll put it in this video of Jalen Ramsey kind of destroying the blocker. He getting through. He tackles Tate, and he puts a little extra oomph on it, you know? He dropped him to the ground. And you can tell that hit was personal. Like, I've never seen Jalen bam anybody like that. So you know that hit was personal. And then we see a video clip after the game where it's like the Rams and the Giants, just the whole entire team's just scrapping. And it looks like they're trying to pull people off of each other. And I don't see anything. I can't see Jalen. I can't see Golden. So if anybody's out there who has the film where we can actually see how it started or see them scrapping, I want to see it. I'm here for it. I want to see it. All we see is just a bunch of people, looks like they're in a fight and in a scuffle or something, and it gets broken up. I also saw a clip like later where it was 20 minutes after all of that, and Jalen was with some personnel for the Rams, team personnel, and he was just walking, pacing back and forth on the telephone. And that was probably the highlight of this week in the NFL. We knew it was coming. We saw it coming from a mile away. That shows you just because somebody is a $100 million man doesn't mean they're not normal. These people are human. So on Fridays is when all new music is released, albums, whatever they call them now, mixtapes, whatever. So Friday is that day. In the hip hop R&B world, we had Savage Mode 2 drop. We had Anniversary by Bryson Tiller. And we also had an album dropped by YG. I'm sorry, I don't know the name of it right now. but we had YG drop something. So in the hip hop world, those are three big names. The hip hop R&B world, those are three big names. I think the ones that caught everyone's attention was the Savage Mode 2 with 21 Savage, and then Anniversary by Bryson Tiller. I like both projects. I've probably listened to both of them maybe twice through, so I want to continue to listen to them to get like a nice opinion about them. But I do like what the one that stood out most to me was the Bryson Tiller project Anniversary. As you know, this is his third project that he's dropped. So 5 years ago he dropped Trap Soul, and that was like groundbreaking. He had two big hit singles off of that, and it kind of shot him up the charts, catapulted him to stardom. And after that, he put out a second album, which came out about a year and a half, 2 years later, and it was underwhelming, for a lack of a better term. And it was kind of like, dang, is Bryson Tiller another Jon B? Well, he's followed that up within the past 2 or 3 years with, singles. I think his biggest single in that time was Wild Thoughts with Rihanna. I'm going to be honest, I'm a big Bryson Tiller fan, but I feel like a lot of people they would hear the Rihanna part first and then just turn off the Bryson part. It was kind of going in that direction with him, especially with that second album he dropped. And then the singles were like, okay, kind of lukewarm, so people weren't too hot on him for a second. But I'll say he's gaining his fans back. He's gaining some new fans with this new project, Anniversary. It reminds you of Trap Soul, his original. It doesn't necessarily have songs like, for example, 502 Come Up, where he's like rapping. I like it so far. I have to keep listening to it so I can hear the standout tracks. Drake is on there. Actually, Drake is on Anniversary and he's on 21 Savage project. So I guess that's part of his rollout. But back to Bryson. I think it's a good project. Go out there and listen to it. Also, 21 Savage, go out and listen to his. Maybe that type of music is not for you. I like it. I like some ratchet music at times. So I enjoy 21 Savage. I like him as a person as well. So if you get me as a person, more than likely I'll like your music and I'll tune in. So shout out to those two guys. Here's my question of the week. How soon is too soon to get married? I saw a tweet last week where someone said if you don't know within the first 2 months or the first 3 months if you want to marry someone, then that's not the person. And I don't agree with that at all. There's some people who do know within the first 2 or 3 months. There's some people where it takes 3 or 4 years, 2 years, 1 year to figure out if that's the person that they want to marry. You have to realize that you need, or in my opinion, this is all my opinion. I'm not going to tell you what you should do or what you need to do. But in my opinion is that you need to get to know that person as much as possible before you get married. Like, I don't think you can know a whole lot about a person after 6 months or know a lot after 1 year. And it's one thing if you've known that person before y'all started dating, like you went to school, y'all used to be best friends, stuff like that. So you already know that person and y'all date for a year or y'all date for 6 months and you go from there. But you may have seen this person on social media or you just know this person from afar and y'all been together for 6 months and then y'all getting married and then you're treating a marriage or you taking time away from the marriage to get to know this person a lot. Like, I think that's crazy. In my opinion, that's crazy. Why not spend that time? You get to know this person, and then if any red flags pop up, and you feel like this is not the person, you can just walk away as opposed to having to go through a whole legal process of divorcing the person. So that's my advice, and that's my question. Like, how soon is too soon? Are you waiting 5 years? Are you waiting 10 years? I'm not judging anybody on how long they wait, whether it's 1 month, 1 week, or 10 years, or even the reason. Because I know sometimes people get married because of, green card purposes or military purposes. So I'm not judging you on that, and I'm not judging you on the length. But don't judge people because they wait years to get married. People have to learn about each other, Like, do we need to live together first? Are the people on your side of the family crazy? You got to know that type of stuff, right? Because that person could develop into a crazy person over time. And if you're just dating them, you find that out, all right, you dip out. Simple as that. instead of, dang, I gotta get a divorce, or my family doesn't believe in divorce, so let me, stick this thing out, or dang, we got kids now and we're married. There's no way I'm divorcing them. Now you're miserable. So don't put yourself in that situation is all I'm saying. Grow and learn with that person. Find out who they truly are. Find out who their people are. Find out what they've been through, their experiences, stuff that you can relate to, and then stuff that you can, learn from them. Just keep that in mind. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell right after so you get any notifications of my videos, so I know that you're enjoying my videos and I can create more for you. Also, if you have anything to say, positive, negative, criticism, suggestions, anything like that, leave them in the comment section as well.
I'm just trying to set the record straight. If this a fight, then I'm a heavyweight. Super light, I'm in the darkest place. Suit and tie me in a coffin cage. Criticize me.